Hello everyone, so welcome back to another video, and we're going to go over some stuff here. First off, new build, 2.0, what does this have in it? The physics stuff from last time, a little bit more enhanced. And the best part about this is the new AI. The new AI now walks between target points, which I can set, and he does that randomly, so sometimes he'll go upstairs here, sometimes he won't. If we go to unlit here, we can see that he's navigating this environment, this new test environment, which is set up for him. We can even go wireframe if we want, just to show off all the blocks here. This was all built out of very temporary meshes that are used in Unreal to throw things together to give you an idea of what you want your environment to be like. As you can see, I've still not finished it, but this is based on the actual building that I was based in. It's as accurate as I can get it. There are certain areas that I've had to wall off just for this test, and there are other areas that aren't finished. There aren't any objectives, so at the moment it's just the AI walking around and the player trying to navigate. Basically, there's about, I'd say, 10 points that he can visit in each floor of the building. You've got the ground floor, the first floor, and the second floor. And depending on where he is and what catches his interest is where he goes. Like the key points, I'm actually trying to find them here. Normally I put them in like the middle of a room. So say like up here. I'll put them in there. I'll put them in the center of the room so now he can navigate back through there. So if we press P, I think it is, to show his navigation area. So that is all the area he can navigate with the green flooring. So he can go pretty far. The idea is he's just moving around and trying to see where he can go. He will go wherever he wants, just randomly, which is really cool. Kind of reminds me of Mr.X from Resident Evil. So he can now just wander around, decide that he wants to walk all the way through here to the front if he wants, and then he can just walk all the way back and choose a random point. Now at the moment, it's pretty dark, obviously. The idea is that we can go into this, and we can go into an area and turn the lights on. At the moment, I have a small light strapped to the player's head to try and help them see in the dark. As you can see here, it kind of lit up slightly when I moved closer to it. But the idea is that you have to get a flashlight and run around. And at the moment, the whole idea is that the player finds these flashlight switches and turns them on. But sometimes they're not in the most obvious places, so when it's at distance, you want to turn your flashlight on so you can see where it is, then turn the light on. The problem is I don't know whether I'll keep this because I'm going to be changing it anyway in later levels, because one of the levels I want most of the lighting to be out, and the idea is that you have to go back to the generator and insert a battery to turn the lights back on. But the thing is, once the lights are on, it kind of takes away a little bit from the horror element, because your mind tends to wander a little bit and think all kinds when you can't see. So the idea of not being able to see is a basic point for horror games. Like here, I can't see anything down here now. It's terrible, right? I turn the light on, gives me a little bit more of an idea of what's there, and gives me more of the ability to see him, but at the expense of him being also able to see me. So I don't know whether I'm going to keep that. All these light switches are kind of in easy to get to locations. It's just a case of whether you can while he's navigating the environment. Like I said before, there are no objectives, so as of the moment, he's just wandering around and I'm testing to see where he'll go. So now it's a case of figuring out, well, how do I work this? Because the flashlight battery drains pretty fast as well. Do I keep it in and have the light switches been taken out, or do I keep certain light switches in and take other ones out, make lights faulty so that they don't come on, things like that? Because the idea is you want the players to be able to see what's inside most of these rooms. I'm just trying to decide on how I should go about that, especially because they're being chased by the AI, and then there's going to be like little Resident Evil style bits of lore hiding around here. There's the AI. Because what I plan to do is include different little bits of lore on like sheets and things that you can pick up or you can read. So that's another thing that I have to take into consideration with the AI walking around, is that all this will be going on and the player will be interacting with things, and I want him to be able to see things, but it's going to be awkward trying to balance everything. I'm going to have to do a little bit more research into horror in general and find out what's acceptable and what's not for lighting, because this is pitch black at the moment, but this is more or less how the how the original was. I need to lose sight of him here. He's really damn quick. He walked around there, saw me, and then just legged it. So let's try and break his line of sight. Hopefully we broke his line of sight. The question is, which place is he going to go to next? Let's turn that off so we can see him if he goes in there. Also, the whole thing is, if you get caught by the AI really early on and you don't have the flashlight, or you only have so much battery for it, you're then kind of screwed wandering around in the dark, which you don't want. But when this place is supposed to be on its last legs, you know, it's supposed to be abandoned more or less, with only minimal power going to it, while you're basically doing like general janitor and admin duties. You're not really a security guard, which is why you can't take him on. You can't do anything. You don't have any weapons. You don't have any self-defense items. All you have is the ability to run. When it's that kind of thing going on and you're trying to do objectives and stuff like that, it's kind of awkward. I'm gonna have to do put a lot of thought into this as to where it's gonna go, especially because the objectives are based on the idea that you do a shift, and then once the shift is over, it then moves on to the next level, which will expand the area. And the idea is just to survive the entire shift without getting caught. He won't always be here. The idea is that he's triggered by certain things, so some players will trigger him, some players won't. I have to work that into the equation still, so that you can set him off and he will spawn in different areas and will start homing in different things depending on what you've interacted with. Once I've got that down, then it will be really cool, because then I can just watch people walk around and see what they do. But this is almost at the point where I can get a demo out and start getting research from people as to what the AI does and what the players do. Once I do that, then I can start tweaking it even more to see what's going down and to try and make it a little bit better. So for now, this is 2.0. This is from the 11th of February 2019, and I'm really happy with it, especially because of that AI thing. Because if you've seen these videos in the past, you'll know that it's taken a while to get me to this point. So I'll see you guys later. I hope